Thank you. Welcome,
Thanks.
you guys. Welcome.
Thanks for letting us in.
Thank you. I know.
Thanks for being here, Romana.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Hi. That's all right. What is this, cell phone?
Yeah,
Thank you.
just
Okay,
cell
here.
phone.
Thank you. Okay, cell phone. Turn it off, please.
Oh, we don't want a picture in here? No, I guess.
Oh, she's taking pictures.
Oh, okay.
No
Sorry.
worries, no
Sorry
worries.
about that.
Why is it so dark in here, you guys?
Oh, travel.
So cozy in here. Time, so I thought
No big deal.
I took the bunk bed. And I tried to sleep, but then all of a sudden I'm like, who's snoring so loud? And then I listened down, I'm like, Daisy? And then listen to the left. Oh my God, somebody else is on the left. What is it? Snoring. But anyhow, it was all good. We made it.
Well, welcome.
Thank you guys. Thank
Okay,
you.
carry on all the way.
Yes. Are you guys joining the convoy all the way to?
No.
No.
I'll stay in corner, bro.
Usually people kind of stick to their side of the coast in the wintertime. The roads
Oh, is
are
that right?
yeah, they're pretty hairy around here. But now from Portabass to here is usually the worst kind of stretch of roads. So
Yeah.
now from farther out it shouldn't be so bad.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad
It's more
traveling across the
highway.
island.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. So there's some potholes there. So I'm like, what's with the potholes?
Yeah, lots of people losing tires here to potholes.
Really?
Oh
A
yes.
lot of the,
Yes, very
the
common.
kind of weather that we have in Newfoundland. We have the cold, and then you get rain for 2 or 3 days, and frost comes out and out of the ground and causes the potholes, and you know, like the government is.
So how can we fix that with
We're
the
gonna
money and
change
all
the
of
weather.
that? Like what kind of materials do we need
I
to
don't
fix
know.
these potholes
I don't know.
to
These
make it?
engineers should be able to figure that out.
Well, that's the thing,
just a lot
yeah.
of
We don't go to
erosion.
school for that stuff,
We do.
right?
So I should be firing all the engineers
Yeah,
to
get some
keep
new
on.
ones.
Cheap work.
Yes, and get new ones
Yeah.
because we shouldn't be
Definitely.
having potholes all over every 6 months or every
That's right.
year.
Every
We
3
should-
months.
Year.
Exactly.
Every year.
We should have at least minimum 5 years of
Yeah.
For sure.
smooth
Yeah.
asphalt.
Yeah, it's a waste of
Yes.
money as far as I'm concerned. Every year they put money into the roads and the highways, and then
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
5 months down the road, they got to do it again. Right? So
Exactly.
what's
We
the
had
point?
2 washouts on either shore a couple weeks ago, so there's actually a shed in the middle of the road up on the north shore right now. Like it washed right off the bank and into the roadway. So
Did we pass by that?
no,
already?
it's
Okay.
if you take the exit here and go towards Cox's Cove, it's en route that way.
Since when has it been washed out?
Last
Couple
week.
weeks,
Yeah,
last week, maybe, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Is it
So
just
what
from
time do you
flooding,
expect
or-
to
Yeah,
be
there was a
in
landslide, I
Yeah,
guess, right?
landslide. Yeah.
The mud came down and pushed the shed right out in the middle of the road.
Okay. And usually the traffic local,
Right on the street.
Right on the
Yeah.
street.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
the only
main
way in
highway,
and
right?
out. So they've just put a stop light there so
Yeah.
that it can, one-way traffic through either side.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they've cleaned it up. I was just through there Wednesday
Okay.
last week.
Right. Well, that should have been fixed before I arrived in British
Certainly.
Columbia. They had 30 days in which to fix all of the highways and roads and rebuild the bridges after flooding there. So there shouldn't be any excuses here. If it's just a road that was washed out, they could have built what is it? The military bridge, temporary bridge, the Bailey Bridge.
Yeah.
Military is very quick. They can do that in a matter of hours, and that should have been fixed. So I'm glad that I'm here, passing by, listening to you guys, and learning what needs to be fixed. Because there's a new boss in town, and she's in town,
Thank you.
and she's fixing all these things.
It's good to hear.
So,
Good to hear you.
Yes.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't take weeks to fix
No,
a
or
washed
years.
out road.
Right?
So, okay, good to know.
Yes.
I'm glad you guys made it.
Yeah, sorry, there's not so many of us.
Oh, no, no
I
worries,
mean,
no
three's
worries.
a crowd, though.
Yes, exactly. And I have my own crowd
Yeah.
that I go with. So,
That's awesome.
were you one of the? Someone was commenting on the page saying we're gonna come out.
No, not me.
What is it? Just for a few minutes from his or her work.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, somebody. Okay. All
I
right.
came down from Deer Lake, which is
Somebody's
about 50
nephew.
kilometers.
Yeah, someone's
Yeah.
nephew saying they'll come.
We're trying to get you to stop in Deer Lake, but
Okay.
Oh, no. No. There's nobody else outside, anyways. It was just
Yeah.
us three
Yeah.
standing there. So.
Yeah,
Okay.
we were here waiting. We had our flag out, thinking if anybody saw our flag, maybe they would come.
Yes.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been waiting? Hopefully not long.
Just before 11, we
Okay.
came.
Not too
Yeah.
much.
Okay.
So on the legal side now, when the courts, I have a number of businesses that I've approached with notice of liabilities, and I'm going to take them to court
Mhm.
eventually. And I've been getting notices of trespassing in a couple of places. Who do we file the lawsuits with now?
Okay. At this moment, actually, as of last summer, when I have dissolved all courts, so anything and everything to do with the previous fake
Yeah.
monarch have been removed. So all corporation courts they have, maritime courts, everything gone. The only courts that exist is one, Queen Romana's Royal Court. So in terms of your lawsuits, what have you that's going on right now, there are no courts that have the authority or lawful power to execute any judgment or to provide one for that matter.
So, will we be getting information on who we file to, or where do we?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. The priority at the moment is to clean up Canada and get rid of all the people that have been selling Canada and Canadians to foreigners.
So that won't
that's
be
the priority.
all these legal things that people have tried to do before it was dissolved. That's not washed away as though it doesn't exist anymore. We still carry on with the legal things into the royal court, into the.
When you attend royal court, you'll have to refile because what applied with the maritime law does not apply in natural law. We are now under natural law, so none of those.
I haven't filed any, so they usually got 2 years before you can file. So I was waiting till the corrupt lawyers and judges were
Exactly,
removed.
all of them are
before-
exactly.
Yeah.
So none of them have powers. None of them have authorities to even take cases and present it in any laws because any courts because they don't exist.
Yeah.
And the Bar Association has been declared persona non grata, which means they have no rights to be in Canada. So all lawyers and judges.
So they're
gone.
carrying on as though they do have the power.
Right.
Are you considered to be a queen in exile, sort of thing?
No, I'm not.
Because they still don't acknowledge your authority, so they're carrying on as though they're still real.
Well, actually, incorrect.
Oh.
They are acknowledging my presence. The media, the mainstream media, is where their only power is.
Propaganda.
Exactly. It's all propaganda. The fact is, they know, all of them know, all of the deep state know, all of the Illuminati know, and all of their higher up knows that Queen Romana is backed by the United States U.S. Armed Forces and Global Alliance and will enforce her reign in Canada, whether they like it or not. Yes, exactly.
So we really
They are also aware that along with the Alliance and the United States Special Forces, I have removed their Chinese military personnel from Canada by the thousands, tens of thousands actually, in every province. They also know that we have cut them off financially. They have no power whatsoever financially. So everything is an illusion that they're trying to hang on to. The people in the middle level to lower level, as far as their supposed management, are not aware that their bosses have been removed. And if you guys have noticed, when I issued the martial law, February 5th, weeks after that, their fake Justin Trudeau tried to issue martial law, and then I said, you have no authority whatsoever and power to issue martial law. The only martial law that is lawful is the one that is issued by the Queen and the Commander-in-Chief, and that's me. So
and so
they backtrack all of their.
people who are following this, we realize that it's all an illusion, deception, and propaganda. We try to talk to people about Queen Romana. They think we're the ones that are deluded and everything, and lost our marbles.
Correct.
So,
Well, if you if you watched the video from Ottawa when
I did.
that 7-foot guy came and said to me, "Well, you look like a crockpot," and then I said,
Yeah.
"What you think of me is none of my business. Enjoy your freedom," because whether they believe it or not, their freedom has been returned. The heavy lifting in terms of military and all the cleanup has been done before the pandemic even began. So I've been working for decades and
Behind the
decades
scenes,
without people knowing. So it doesn't really matter at this time whether they believe it or not, because as I said, my reign in Canada as the new queen, the real queen, is enforced by the U.S. Armed Forces. And
There's quite a number of people reference Israel as being the last. Is that will be the final thing before everything is open? I wonder. They're going to leave because they're apparently the ones who are in control of a lot of the Mossad and the CIA and Masonic. We thought Israel was a wonderful place, but apparently it's quite a demonic country.
Well, that used to be the timeline.
Yeah.
And Queen Romana has changed the timeline. Many also have asked, why did I choose Canada? I could have gone to other countries. And I said, that's because Canada is the most evil, most corrupt
We thought
country.
we were the best.
Yes, exactly. The media has
We were
been,
so wonderful.
telling everyone that Canada was the best, and we're the most generous.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is look at how our people have been suffering for decades. And then there's that hypocrisy of sending billions of dollars of our own money. Basically, they've been robbing Canadians with the tax money and sending it to their rich friends in poor countries, and then laundering that back into their foundations and private corporations. So that hypocrisy has ended. I have said not a single penny is leaving Canada. No international aid, no military aid to anyone. So
Now you see the mainstream media getting people to be, we're so kind-hearted, pray for Ukraine and send money, and it's just ridiculous.
yes.
The money that's these people take from us, because that's our nature has always been to help people in the world, but it looks like we never did much with the crooked dictators that were in every country.
Exactly. And I have I think yesterday or the day before, I said I have not authorized the IMF or World Bank to send aid on behalf of Canada to Ukraine. So they have no authorization. They need my signature to, number one, create any laws in Canada. That's a royal assent. The same thing when we are lending money to any countries. They need my signature as the head of state, commander-in-chief, and head of government, and now president of Canada, because we no longer have parliaments or legislature. So all of this is just propaganda, but they're aware that they can't move. Some of the chess moves, you guys see that the queen, the fake queen, cannot move. So that's what's happening.
She's pretty cold by now.
Exactly, right? she's a fish food right about now. A long time ago, fish food.
I have one more question. I'm sort of taking.
Go ahead.
thing.
Go ahead.
Give her.
You mentioned much about the Divine Master and things that we're not probably aware of, but is that the same Creator as the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, or are you referring to some other?
That's the same Creator.
Same Creator.
Yes.
Okay.
So the humans that created religion, and you guys are aware of that. Even they changed the calendars. That's all from up there. So that's why in Canada, I said politics and religion have created division and corrupted the way the people.
There is a difference in religion. Religion is an organized thing by man, but
Correct.
But the relationship with the Creator
is straight between
it's
you
between,
and me.
So
And
that is
between
not
you
religion,
direct.
but it's still a religious, because if you're the Queen of Canada, probably you're saying you're the queen of the world, or I don't know how far that goes, but that's a very important thing. I think that's one of the most important things is to realize where you stand on certain religious things, because it's going to affect every individual.
Correct,
It's not only as an economy that we're thinking about.
That's right. Not only economy, not only
it's
everything.
very,
Yes.
Yeah.
So my official stance is I do not recognize religion. I recognize individuals' direct communication between the master creator, and that is the creator of all things, human and any other human construct.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm encouraging.
So
direct
you're saying that
communication.
we have a direct access to our Creator.
Always.
So the information or story of the fall of man from God, separated from his nature, doesn't exist with you.
Doesn't exist.
So
No.
your thinking is more along the mystical lines, where we have direct access to God without any intermediary.
That's correct. Religion is an intermediary.
Which is there's no mediation between God and man. We've
Yes.
always been accepted by God with it,
Correct.
regardless.
Yes.
That's very difficult for me to.
It's like a spirituality journey versus a religious, or
Yes.
to categorize
No,
religion.
the whole history of Jesus Christ and his life and his being sent by God, the Creator, to redeem us doesn't exist then.
Doesn't. It's human construct.
That's the point I want to try to make, because that's the kind of thing, as a queen, you're going to be influencing in the whole world, or Canada. So that's going to be very difficult to swallow, I think.
Many people,
Yeah.
if you guys even have followed Q said the ending is not for everyone, because
Yeah.
many people will realize that what they have been taught from childhood and what they believe to be true, we're all.
So then, where did you get your source of your truth, as far as saying that we can directly go to God without an intermediary or a redeemer or a mediator?
Where did I
What
get my
gives,
source?
what makes your philosophy or whatever it is any different than saying that what we have always been taught from history and from the Bible and Jesus Christ? I mean, what would give me the ability to believe without any kind of evidence? What you're only
Your own belief system and your personal experience with yourself and your communication, whether you use an intermediary or not. You use intermediary via religion, I do not. So it's not a philosophy, it is a direct communication. The only difference is you have an intermediary, and that is your religion. I do not.
You'd have to give some kind of foundation from why I should believe that you're thinking of we have direct access to God without a mediator, or without Jesus Christ, or without someone, or we're not sinners. How would I know that would be true just because you say these things?
I am not asking anyone to follow me.
Well,
I
then
am
you'll always have
asking,
different religions. Then.
I am asking people to listen to themselves and to have that direct communication without having to go to someone. I mean, how is it that you require to communicate, you require an intermediary to communicate with your own father? If God is your father, why do you need somebody in the middle to communicate with your father? That's your family, yes?
That's what we would say.
The problem is if God was intended to be our father, but somebody else decided to separate us from God, and we were deceived into falling away from God. So he's not our father until, that's why we need a mediator. That's why we need Jesus, someone to die for our sin, because we have lost that relationship with God. The whole world is like that. I mean, they don't know God.
I will agree.
They have idols all over the world, worshiping idols, and
I will gladly agree to disagree.
okay.
Yes. Because it's your personal journey. I'm not asking anyone to follow my belief system. I am simply saying that you do not need an intermediary to have a direct relation with the Creator.
Well, anyway,
Right.
that's fine. I just wanted to know, because as a queen, you're certainly going to have
I recognize that, but as I said, I'm not here to create yet another religion.
No.
I'm here
But
to
that's been around
elevate
for years. That mysticism
people.
and this direct thing has been around for. I mean, as far as man has been trying to reach God on his own, it's not new.
It's not new. Your religion is new.
It's from India.
Yes,
It's
the
from the
religion
Eastern
is-
religions.
yes.
Really, it's just a mystic idea.
So
And we
that's
can-
why I said we will agree to disagree, because until such time that each one has recognized their self to be part of God, then they will require an intermediary.
Mm. Okay, it's fine. Thanks.
Okay. No worries. No worries. We're all good.
No
Yes.
That's it.
It's about coming into alignment.
Yes,
Yeah.
you need to
Spiritual
be
alignment.
aligned. Until that time, you will need an intermediary. It's like until such time that your body has changed into crystalline, you will need food on planet Earth.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay? So,
Any last questions? So I can take a group
I'm
photo?
good. I'm
you
good.
good? You're good? You're good? Yes.
I'm just happy enough to see you and
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm
continue
glad.
to follow you guys, right?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So